Sorry, yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. I didn't want to violate any rules here, so obliged. I really wanted to start off because Lawson Gray, who, the name may not be very familiar with people, but he worked at the Broadcasting Corporation, I think after I left. And so when I actually ran into him, it would have been as in my activist days. I don't think he was a yes, right. I have all these phases, you know. Yeah, so that was in those days. I don't think he was a supporter of the progressive cause. I don't think so. And I was telling the colleagues downstairs that at one point I thought, you know, decent and F&M was an oxymoron. But then, you know, you discover real people.
Then I met crazy.
And so you find out that, you know, people are what they are and they have their beliefs. But I just thought he was a very decent man. And I was shocked. And I've been having this kind of shock for a while now, where these people in their 60s are simply dying. People who should actually outlive me. And it must say something, because it's a series of women in Foxhill have died, all 62, 60-ish. Some have just retired, and you know, some of them have been sudden deaths. Just over the weekend, there were 3 families affected: the Curry family, Gladstone Rolle, who was a good worker for Derek Davis, and then Cora Davis's brother. But all of these seem to be sudden deaths. And what the death of Lawson reminded me of is a period of my life, and this happens when you go to these memorials, of a really enjoyable time in life, when you form some friendships that you never imagined you would still, decades later, have. And so I remember Harris Gibson and Jeff Hepburn and Peter Campbell, who still works here, and Valentino Bain, who, of course, who's passed on as well. And so I just wanted to mention his name and to extend to his wife condolences on his passing. Don't know whether he has children as well, but he's a really decent man, and so mark his passing. I'm glad you raised this issue of the dogs, because I don't think people appreciate what a beautiful island this is to walk on, or the Bahamas, because it's largely flat. And what is the most annoying problem is, even in these wealthy neighborhoods, and we have in Gleniston Gardens North in my constituency, people can't walk in the mornings because there are dogs charging out at them every place you go. And I keep trying to say to people, there's a law which says that if you have an open yard, the dog has to be tethered. It has to be tethered. You know, and nobody seems to sort of recognize what a nuisance this is. I mean, Bimini, for example, is a great place to run. Flat, but, you know, dogs charging out as you're going along. But certainly even along the Eastern Road, where you say people, because of these high-priced homes, ought to know better, right? But, you know, dogs charging out at you. So I just want to join with you on that. I'm going to do something about and I think it must have to do with public education on this subject matter. Finally, congratulations to the Agriculture Minister, because when I went to the Yamacraw Farmers Market, and that whole weekend, I was the biggest spender that weekend. Big spender. And this way you have me one? I'm a VIP spender. Yeah, sorry, okay. There you go. There's hope for me yet. As Arthur Hanna would have said, I'm good for something, not good for nothing. But it just seems to me that the whole success in and around the idea of people farming again seems to be taking off. Lots of people raising chickens, I see. Eggs everywhere. And so I want to continue to encourage people that. Finally, P.J. Patterson, who is the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, and can really be credited with driving CARICOM in the direction of sports policy. He's now retired. He served 3 terms as Prime Minister of Jamaica, but on Sunday he celebrated his 88th birthday. So I just wanted I spoke to him yesterday. The Prime Minister spoke to him yesterday to wish him best on everything. He is still active and around, and is a good example of what life can be after public life. So I want to extend congratulations to him on reaching that milestone, and to express our concern because Portia Simpson Miller, who's also a Jamaican prime minister, is not well, had to be hospitalized, and so we wish her well and our friends in Jamaica on that issue. So thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and once again, condolences to the families in Fox Hill and to Lawson Graves' family. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Members. Appointment of select committees.